It is just before 5 p.m. on the west coast of the United States. You are watching the Groove Zones, March Madness. Let me try that again. March Madness. I'm DJ D Phoenix. It's been a rough week, but we're here regardless. Keep yourselves healthy and well, and love each other while you can. Without further ado, let's get right into the show. Ladies and gentlemen, may we present from Haircut 100 and his own incredible career, this is Nick Heyward. Rock and roll, kids.
This is Mike Scope from A Flock of Seagulls with DJ D Phoenix, and this is the Groove Zone.
Yes.
This is Mike Scope from A Flock of Seagulls with DJ D Phoenix, and this is the Groove Zone.
Yes.
Hi, David Sterry from Real Life here. You're on Neo Retro. How fabulous is that?
Ow.
Rock and roll.
Ow.
It's Carol Pope, so all right, whenever you're ready.
Hey, this is Carol Pope, and I hope you get sexed up on Valentine's Day on the sessions.
Yes. Oh, that was perfect.
Pretty fast. You don't stop to look around once in a while. You could miss it.
Going down, this is your boy Dub FX. I am doing a show called Hook, Line and Thinker with DJ D Phoenix on Neo Retro FM, so tune into that. Peace.
Pretty fast. You don't stop to look around once in a while. You could miss it.
I know. It's uncanny, actually. Oh, cool. Well, this is going to end up on our Valentine's special.
Oh,
Yeah.
Day of love.
I don't even know how to do the heart thing. Why do you do this?
Mine kind of looks like a croissant.
It does. That's even better though.
Where's the cheese? There's the cheese. Okay. Cool. I'll tell you what. So with that in mind, let's can we do like one plug for Valentine's Day? Okay.
What do you got?
Whatever you want. Do it for the Groove Zone.
Hello, all you lovers. You're listening to the Groove Zone, and this is Magnet.
And we love you.
Wow. My teenage girl heartthrob.
Yeah, there it is.
I don't know if you can see it, but my heart's going like this right out of the shirt.
Yeah.
Speaking of
wife was
shirts.
gay. And I was like going, but I'm just really into the way these guys look. You know, it's like you can't believe how important it is to get the tricep.
Oh.
And Jesus. You
Oh
know.
my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
You know, I remembered Arnold saying, you know, when he grew up, he had pictures of bodybuilders all over his wall.
Okay.
And, I mean, you would. I mean, it's funny because I did have a girlfriend, Polly, and she did have pictures of women on her wall, and I just thought she was really into poetry and stuff. And it's funny being gay in the sort of like 70s and 80s. It was a completely different world for being gay to what it is now.
Totally.
I was listening to Small Town Boy the other day by Bronski Beat. I was reviewing it for a Channel 5 show here.
Okay.
And I just thought what a brilliant song it was, first off, but the video and the statement and what it actually meant at that particular time, it was like she's leaving home for the whole new kind of like gay era that was coming around, where everything was just like, come on, get with the program, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like this part of the whole society, the way it was just evolving. And I think Small Town Boy was a really important record, you know, and it still sounds fresh today. It's completely, I mean, if that came out now, you wouldn't think, oh, that's an old record.
You wouldn't know that it was almost 40 years old.
No. And yet normally in 1980, say like 1981,
Okay.
if it was like 1951,
Oh.
you know, and then 40 years before, it's like, whoa, we're getting to a very, very ancient sound.
And you know, it's funny though how timeless so much of your music has been. And I've got to tell you before I forget, my ultimate favorite track of yours has got to be "Traffic in Fleet Street."
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh, Nick! I was
playing that today.
Really?
Yeah, I was rehearsing today, and I was just kind of singing songs, standing. Because I want to get just back to because I haven't stood in front of a mic for 2.5 years, so I just want to stand there and just kind of just do stuff, and so anything coming to my mind, you know. And "Traffic in Fleet Street" was I couldn't recall all the lyrics, but
I'll sing it for you.
It was verse 2. I just thought, was it something about a secretary's lunchtime?
Yes.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what it was about that particular track off of the album, but it was one of the ones that totally stood out in my mind. And I'm telling you, that thing ended up on so many mixtapes for my friends over the years. It's just, and today, it's not only still as fresh, but it's still as what's the word I'm looking for? It touches such a large part of my heart. And I don't know what it is, whether it's lyrically or just the music or whatever, but that is by far probably one of my ultimate favorite tracks by you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know the area? Because I mean, I used to be a commercial artist, and it was this area that I used to walk around, around Lincoln's Inn Fields and Fleet Street, and because I used to work there, and I used to go to the Cheshire Cheese, a pub, but I wasn't really a pub goer. that's the other thing. You're kind of, you feel odd because you're just thinking, how can I get away from work, and how can I get away from people, and how can I get a band together? That's all that's all I was thinking of around that time, is just how can I get on how can I get on stage? Like you'd go home and you'd listen to Death School, the album, like Capaldi's Calf or something, and you'd mime to it, and you'd imagine yourself on stage, with Death School kind of band around you.
Right.
Because I was really into art pop, and so I wanted to be in XTC or Talking Heads or Death School or something,
Okay.
or Devo, something just, I didn't want to be on stage with turn around and there's like 4 rugby players, It's like I want to be on stage with artistic, creative people.
Right.
And it was like.
Did you ever foresee at the very beginning? Did you ever foresee Haircut 100 becoming what it became?
Well, I didn't. I thought we were going to be, when the early reviews said, "Oh, this is Britain's answer to Talking Heads," so I was really chuffed. But then we evolved into something else. It was like Mark and Phil joined, and then when we played live, we had full brass sections. So there was more than 6 people on stage. There was kind of loads of people on stage, and it became a sort of more of a funk outfit for a while.
I can see that. Yeah, definitely.
Funk and stuff, and so it was evolving. So, and then the whole kind of screaming thing was a bit weird because Depeche Mode were having it, and then it was. So we thought, okay. And I remember distinctly having a word with Julie Totten, our press agent, and she said, "Do you want to do these magazines?" And I remember thinking, I'm not sure about this. It is, and then I thought of my girlfriend Laura sitting on her bed, and she used to read through Jackie magazine and Oh Boy and this stuff, and
Right.
Blondie in there, an XTC in there, and the Boys, and all these bands and Generation X. I mean, Billy Idol was all over these magazines. And so I thought, you know what? If it's good enough for those guys, then yeah, why not? Why not do it? But the trouble is, we weren't really ready for what happened. It was a bit intense, and I think it did throw us off for a bit.
I'll bet.
I'll
bet.
We went with it, but it was like it was a bit unexpected.
But part of you, as strange and odd and as new as it had to have been, part of you had to have just been eating it up, though.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was it. I mean, we couldn't get any kind of anything to do with attention. I mean, we were absolutely. I mean, Les and Graham. That's the whole reason we kind of were doing a band in a way, because just to become more interesting. And so there was that, but still, saying that, we're still pretty useless. I mean, I remember going back to the hotel in the early days, and Les had invited a girl back, and they were sitting in the reception of the hotel. I came down in the morning, and they were still fucking sitting there. You can.
Are you still here? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, but there were the successful members of the band, that took to it like ducks to water.
So, what an amazing career, and your longevity, Now, you said it's been about 2.5 years since you've been in front of a microphone. I'm guessing as far as performing goes.
Yeah, I mean, I've been recording, but just actually standing there, and it is a bit like a muscle. I don't know whether I'm kind of gassing out after 4 or 5 songs at the moment. So I booked a rehearsal studio, and so I'm going in every day to just sit in front of the mic and testing it. And it's like, oh God, I've gassed out again. you know, because I'm doing the set, because I've just got it in my head, and I'm just playing my electric, and I'm just imagining the band, and I'm playing, and it's just like, I come to On a Sunday, and it's just like, I said that everything was my way, but could have been her way. And it's like, oh, it's just gone a bit round here. Oh,
okay. This is Michael Corcio of the 3 o'clock in the permanent green light, and you are gigging DJ D Phoenix on the Groove Zone.
Ow! Rock and roll. Michael, oh my gosh.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert from the Blow Monkeys, and this is Neo Retro FM.
Hi, I'm Joe Visvari from Images in Vogue from Vancouver, Canada, and you're in the Groove Zone via Olympia, Washington.
Ow!
You have to stop a
Rock
bit.
and roll.
10 minutes, and it's back.
Okay.
Quality of the voice is back.
Okay.
So I just keep going every day, turning up and just kind of using the voice.
And that's like you said, it's a muscle.
Mm.
So, you know, the only way that it's going to work well is for you to exercise it and to use it. So that totally makes sense. Well, and this kind of takes us up to, I think, where you're at right now. Something about, is there new music on its way? Is what I'm under the impression of.
Yeah, it's pretty much done. I mean, and I've pushed the boat out lyrically because I didn't want to repeat Woodland Echoes. So this is more like I was singing one of the songs today called the Mudlarks.
Okay.
And it's inspired by the same area where I was inspired with Pelican West. It's an area up in London in the Docklands. And there's a pub called the Prospect of Whitby, and it's where my father used to go to listen to jazz, and then I'd just hang around. And there was an alleyway called Pelican Stairs, and I used to go down there, and it's where they used to hang people for smuggling. And I used to go down these stairs and hang around in the mud, you know, and like not mudlarking per se, but just hang around and sort of like explore, you know, and jump from boulders and try and climb on boats and just hang around there for the day. I wanted to make it out to these barges once, and I remember getting stuck, and you know, the tide was coming in and that kind of stuff. But it's anyway. So there was one of there was West Pelican Wharf.
Okay.
And that's what the idea.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it was Pelican. It was West Pelican originally, the Haircut 100 album. And
really?
Somebody in Arista said, "I prefer it the other way around, I must say."
Awesome.
I went, "You're right. You are right. Yeah, it's so much better, Pelican West."
I still listen to Pelican West on a pretty regular basis. On the station, on Neo Retro FM that we're part of. And actually, you know what? I haven't even done an intro. I should probably do an intro so they know. I mean, I know they know who I'm talking to, but this would be, okay. A couple of orders of business real quick, Nick, and I do apologize. But let me get a quick intro in if I could, and then we'll go from there. Hey guys, you are watching the Groove Zone Networks, the sessions. I'm DJ D Phoenix coming to you live from Tacoma, Washington today. And with me, I am totally stoked, and I have the privilege to be able to hang out with Nick Heyward of his own amazing career, but also I'm the former frontman for Haircut 100. And I'm hanging out with him for a little while today. Nick, hello.
Hello, Darren.
Okay, now that we're 20 minutes in.
On the bed.
I like your backdrop better. I do.
What have you got there?
Actually, I have now. This is hiding my kitchen area and my my anti-bathroom. Because all this is just a flag that I found at a thrift store here a couple of years ago, and come to find out, it's actually the Egyptian flag. I thought this was a phoenix, and so I thought, oh, the Phoenix, so why not? And then. Yes. So I even wrote Groove Zone on there. And then somebody tells me about 6 months after that, they're like, oh, you've got an Egyptian flag. And I'm like, no. They're like, yeah, it is. I'm like, I think they beat me to the punch by about 7,000 years. I don't know.
Oh, right.
Anyway, but yes, that's my background. I hadn't even gotten my hair done when I saw the message from Sarah. And I thought, you know what? I kind of was wondering if that wasn't the case, because otherwise I thought it would be too late for one of us. So this worked out totally perfect, though. So thank you.
Yeah, because we were worried that it was kind of 4 a.m. there.
Well, and I was thinking that it was going to be awfully late there. So however it worked out, however, it could have been 3 o'clock in the morning here. If that's what it meant to make it easier for you, I would work around your schedule any day. Which reminds me, my door is, from this point on, my door is always open. Yeah, I'm sure you probably know how I've got to be feeling right now. It's just the most amazing feeling to remember that far back, because yes, it has been more than just a couple of years. But to remember that far back, and actually, you look great for I don't know how old. I'm guessing early 40s. No, not really.
Yeah, 1961. I was born. So
okay, so
I'm coming up to my 61st birthday, which will be in May the 20th. So
you would not know. You wouldn't. You wouldn't know at all. And I'm actually. What's that?
Pretty good lighting in here. It took all day to get this lighting.
And I've got this horrible lighting up that brings all 56 years of mine out to the forefront. So you're just a few years older.
Oh, wow.
Isn't it wild, though, that as we're looking back at that period of time, it doesn't seem like it's been that long?
No, it is weird. And, and what was weird was getting to 60. I didn't think about it until it happened. And then I thought, oh, wow, okay, double 30.
Yeah. I don't know that I like that math.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like it is different. It is. You do definitely feel different. It's right up until like 59, I was still fine because it was just kind of 59 is fine.
Right.
50. Okay. Wow. And for about a few days, I got my sums wrong, and I thought I was going to be 80 in 10 years. I had a panic. I was going. And my mate said,
"Oh my gosh,
I think you're way ahead of yourself there. You've got like 20 years."
Yeah, no doubt. But don't you agree though? Today's 50, 60, 40, whatever. But today's 40, 50, 60, 70 is different than it was when we were younger.
Yeah.
I mean, to a degree, it really is.
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I don't know if it's just because the world has like gotten more casual or what, or maybe we just were influenced by cooler people when we were younger. I don't know. But
well, look at it. I mean, look at 81, 71, 61, 51. I mean, such a that means that people, it is the equivalent of kind of 40 years ago from now. And so people now probably just go like, oh look, there's that 50s guy, in the same way. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
80s people, and I'm a granddad now. I've got 3 grandchildren.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
Ranging in ages from what to what?
Well, they go right the way through the like 11, 8, 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Still great ages. And it's funny, I don't know about you, but I know that I only feel very geriatric when I'm hanging around people that are like 20 or younger.
Yeah.
It's like something about those early to mid 20s and younger that they look at us and they're looking at us like I used to look at my grandparents. And it's like, no, really, I'm still seeing the world through the eyes of a 20-year-old. So, please forgive all the wrinkles and everything and realize that in my mind, I'm right there where you are.
Yeah.
You wear cooler clothes than I do, but anyway. Wow. Yeah, we could reminisce for days, I'm sure, on things of the past. However, like I was saying a little bit ago, I know that there is music on its way. Any ballpark kind of estimate idea, like sometime by the end of the year? Is there going to be a single out or anything, or what
I
can
think
you
I'm
tell
going to
us?
just put songs out. I think unlike the last album where there were still things like Pledge around, and now it just seems to be that people just release songs and then you put an album together, and that suits me because I the pandemic meant that I didn't have the kind of budget to sort of just pile in and finish it all, and I wanted to put lots of instruments on it. So lovely strings on some of them from just beautiful arrangements from Ruth Elder from the London Strings, and
oh my gosh,
just really, really beautiful sort of arrangements, and so it's at sort of mixing stage.
Okay.
Not one. This song, The Mudlarks, I just want to put it out. It wouldn't get played on radio anyway because it
would get played on one station. It would get played on one station, I guarantee.
Well, it mentions head lice and fighting, and it is about. It's a kind of like an anti sort of, because in the UK, just in the last 4 years, I don't know if you've known, but there's this kind of like backward thinking. And for myself, that's lived through the last 40 years and being progressive and going forward, suddenly going into full reverse with things, I just thought, well, how far is it going to go back? Are we going to go back to Dickensian times and mudlarking? Is it? Are we going to go back? How far does this go back? How far do you want your country back? So that's why it's not nostalgia that I was writing about with Mudlarks. It's more just kind of like a social comment, really. But, I started to push the boat out lyrically a bit on this record because I didn't want to repeat myself.
Right.
Interesting subjects as well. And subjects that I didn't know I was writing about. But so there was one song and I thought, well, why am I singing this? It's so depressing. And I realized that it was a song from a kind of harrowing image I saw one morning over breakfast when, just going through your Facebook or something, and there was a guy getting into a wheelie bin for the night to sleep.
Okay.
In London, and I just thought, he was being interviewed by the news, and it's kind of like, hold on. I thought the news are interviewing him going into a wheelie bin. Like, can't you get him a room for the night? Like, what is this? People are allowing people to sleep in plastic bins, and he was ex-army, and I just thought this is what's happened, And I remember being in London growing up and thinking it was going to be such a better world when I grew up. Obviously, that's what happened.
Right.
And there was one guy who lived on the streets, and his name was Daz, and you knew him when he was around because he smelled terrible, he never washed. That's why we called him Daz. And I think he was like the one guy in the West End, one guy, and that was him. And he chose to be on the streets because I talked to him from a distance, but had a chat. And he said that he wants to be on the streets. This is what he wants to do, and he gets treated well. And sometimes he gets put up and just wheeled a supermarket trolley around most of the day. And now in London, it's just very kind of like normal. There are people living on the streets just all over the place, everywhere.
Is it really? Yeah. So, because we don't see that. I don't know if it's the media or what, but we don't really see that part of London or of even the United Kingdom at all. We see the really nice things, the tourist trap kind of areas, but they don't show us that. And I don't know how it is. If you were in Tampa though, you actually did see what was going on in the rest of the country. Seattle, since the pandemic hit, has totally. They've always been homeless. Not like this, kind of like what you were saying, to the point where they're taking up. Now, this was last year, or maybe even further back than that. But one of the largest city parks was totally packed with homeless people up until some time ago. and they finally came in, cleared them all out, put most of them up in motels and hotels could accommodate them. But I thought, where did they come from?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and not saying that it couldn't happen to any of us, but how is it that almost overnight that the world just like was inundated with all these people that had fallen on hard times, you know, or whatever the case may be.
Oh, yeah. So that is the end of part 1 of Nick Heyward. Thank you very much for tuning in and staying tuned. It is Saturday, March 12th, and you're watching the Groove Zone Network here on Facebook at our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Groove Zone Guide. I'm DJ D Phoenix from Neo Retro FM in the Groove Zone, and we will be back here in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Here in just a minute, though, once we get up and going again, just refresh your screen and you'll see part 2. All right? Something along those lines. So here we go.